what's up? It's Tati back with another review or lack of review. Look, I'm just gonna keep it straight with you guys. At this point with ROH, believe it or not, this is coming out of my mouth here, but it's too much wrestling. Absolutely too much. This is a 2-hour show, and they're trying to consistently put 12 matches a show. This is absolutely insane. It's too much. And part of the reason why it's too much is because there's too much emphasis on watching matches rather than telling stories. I think they're starting to pick up on that, but I feel like we don't have time to let these stories marinate because we need more matches. Oh my God. I think it's just too much. 12 matches and you don't have any commercials. It's too much. I think they're doing that simply because people who are watching ROH on the Honor Club website, you're paying for this service. So they're feeling like the more we give them, the more it feels like it's supposed to be worth the money to have a subscription. And really, to be honest, I don't think that's the case. That's not going to make me continue to buy just because you feel like quantity is over quality. And Tony is making a huge mistake. And speaking of Tony, he was actually on this episode again. I don't think it's necessary. Absolutely not necessary. Look, years ago, I fell out of love with WWE because I felt like I spent most of my life watching it, so I felt like I just had to watch it because this is what I was accustomed of doing rather than actually enjoying it. And that's what made me stop watching them for so long, because I really wasn't entertained, but I just did it just because I was so used to doing it. And right now with ROH, I'm kind of feeling like that. Now, I've said this before, in 2023, a lot of my favorite matches have come from ROH, and now it just seems like, yeah, we do get some really top quality matches per show, at least 2 of them, but then the rest of it is starting to feel like I'm just sitting here and just blowing 2 hours. And honestly, it's just not worth it overall, especially if you're paying for the app. I'm really trying to give myself up until Death Before Dishonor before I decide if I'm going to continue to keep reviewing this show or not. Because really, it's like I said, it's quantity over quality at this point. We don't need 12 matches. We need some good stories to be told here. So tonight, I'm only just going to talk about the matches I actually think you guys should watch if you want to check them out. We started off with the first match here, the Ring of Honor TV title on the line. Matt Sydal versus Samoa Joe is one of the matches that I do recommend watching. Now, I really, really enjoy Matt Sydal. I know he's one of those guys who is definitely around to help not only bring great wrestling in the ring, but he's there to help build some of these younger talents or whatnot. If he won the TV title, I know we'll get great matches out of him, but I still feel like sometimes we don't know him on a personality basis. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't mind have seen him win it, but to be honest, Samoa Joe can continue to have this at least until Death Before Dishonor. We don't really have like a really precise storyline going on other than with what's his name, Zack Sabre Jr. and Samoa Joe. So I'm okay with that. And the match was great opener. Like I said, one of the few matches I recommend. Samoa Joe obviously retained. I want to see more of Matt Sydal. He usually brings out the best out of his opponents. So the next match I recommend watching is Dalton Castle and the Boys versus The Righteous and Stu Grayson. Now, this is one of those few storylines that is going on in ROH with The Righteous and Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson seems to be embracing The Righteous more, and the past few matches I'm really seeing these 3 guys have a lot of chemistry. I wasn't really sure if Stu Grayson was going to be a good fit for them. Now, as in terms of chemistry in the ring, they work well, really great. However, the look is not there yet. So it depends on if he's fully going to be committed to the Righteous. This was a really great match. We had both of the boys. I don't know what happened to one of them who supposedly got kidnapped by the embassy or whatever happened a couple of weeks ago. But they put a really great match on tonight. So I do recommend watching this. After this match, though, after Stu Grayson and the Righteous end up picking up the win, we do have Dark Order backstage, and they are not happy. They're not happy to see Stu Grayson has, you know, gone to embracing the Righteous, and he's continuously having matches with them. And we get a promo from all three of these guys, but then once Evil Uno starts talking in this promo, I really start seeing a more of a aggressive, angry side of him, and I really, really like that. I feel like even with the mask, you can see it in his eyes that he's really feeling everything that he's saying. You know, Stu is his best friend, and he obviously wants him to be with the Dark Order. So I really see something happening here, and I'm kind of wondering, are we seeing a change in Evil Uno because he's going to end up going with the Righteous and Stu? I'm not sure if that's where they're going with it, but I like this side of him. It looks really, really great, and I feel like this is kind of the side that we had got from him a couple of months back when Dark Order was, you know, feuding with the BCC, and now we're starting to see that again. So I'm interested to see where this storyline goes. Next, we had a Proving Grounds match for the Women's Championship, Athena versus Trish Adora. I actually really liked this match. I was really more impressed with Trish Adora here. You know, we see Athena, we know what she can do, but it was really about how Trish can prove if she should go for this title. Now, I don't really care for eliminator matches. I don't care for proving ground matches or whatever, but I really felt like she held her own in this match. I think that, you know, in the ring, she shows a lot of potential where, you know, she can be one of the top girls. We just need to see more personality from her, probably a change in her ring gear or whatnot, and maybe we got something going here. I really enjoyed this. Obviously, Athena ends up taking the win before time runs out, 10 minutes. And right after that, we do have Kiera Hogan comes out, and she is ready to attack Athena once again. So we still got this storyline going on with Kiera and Athena, and really I kind of like how things are going with this. I don't mind seeing them in a match again after they have a whole little brawl, and security comes out and attempts to separate these two girls. We have Tony Khan and what's his name, Stokely Hathaway. They are talking about the show and all that stuff, and then they end up saying that next week we're going to have a Chicago street fight with Athena and Kiera Hogan. That's really great. I don't mind seeing, you know, a match like this, because it doesn't really need to be inside the ring. They can use weapons. They can, you know, be as brutal as possible. And I like that we'll get to see something a little different from these girls. Now, Tony, like I said, he didn't even need to be there or whatnot. I just feel like, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like he needs to be there. Once again, he's in front of the camera and he looks like he doesn't even want to be in front of the camera. But it is what it is. So now we have, oh yes, no, not the main event. Okay. So we had Anthony Henry versus Mark Briscoe. That was my second favorite match of the night. I've been saying Anthony Henry is super talented. If y'all not noticing this, y'all are sleeping on this guy. He is so good. Right now he's with the Workhorsemen, and I really feel like he needs to break away from them. He got talent in the ring, and I was really impressed with him against Mark Briscoe here. This is one of those times where it's like, I know Mark's going to win, but I wouldn't mind if Anthony ended up taking this win as well. I was impressed with both of these guys. I love seeing Mark Briscoe in the ring. You know, he has that energy that can light up a room, and I really like that. And then speaking of light up a room, ROH, when they're filming at Universal, is obviously a smaller place, so it's not as much people. I cannot imagine me being one of those people over there and I'm quiet as fuck watching a show. That's crazy. Sometimes you do get a good show, but people are afraid of cheering. They're afraid of booing. They're afraid of participating. Part of wrestling is fan participation too. And when I see, people are being quiet when something cool is happening, I just think that is just absolutely insane. I don't understand why that is the case. But either way, check this match out. Mark Briscoe obviously takes the win, but pay attention to Anthony Henry here. He really shows so much potential. If they really spend some time in developing his character or whatnot, this is somebody who can get really far, not just in ROH, but in AEW. Okay, so before I go to the main event here, yes, I skipped a whole bunch of matches. They ain't worth it. But we had the 10th match out of 12 was Daniel Garcia versus DKC. I haven't seen DKC in a bit, but it was a Pure Rules match. It wasn't even at the Universal Studios. It was on some episode before Dynamite. And it just seemed randomly thrown into this card. I think what happened is that they realized they want to do something with Daniel Garcia and Shibata. So since they had already filmed ROH, they end up filming, this match with Daniel and DKC. Now, I had a little bit of high hopes for this because I like both these guys, especially Daniel Garcia. He's somebody that I feel like is the future of AEW. However, the match was only 7 minutes, and I did not like that. I felt like, hey, you got a 20-minute time limit. We can stretch this out or whatever. I do like Pure Rules matches. It's really as technical as you can possibly get it to be. And I just felt like 7 minutes was just not enough to show how great both these guys are. Daniel Garcia takes the win. We're going to see something with Daniel and Shibata. Most likely, probably. It'll be weird if it's at Forbidden Door because Shibata is holding ROH title, but we'll see where they're going with that. Now, after that, we have Sky Blue versus Viva Van. I like Viva Van. She's talented. But I did not like this match. I kind of had high hopes for this. I know AEW, they really like Sky Blue. A lot of people like Sky Blue. However, I don't want to be too critical, but she just wasn't great in this match. I mean, I just did not enjoy her here, and I did not think that they had great chemistry in this match, which was surprising to me. I wanted to enjoy this, but this is definitely skippable. Sky Blue takes the win. Now let's get into this main event. Alright, y'all, main event time. We had the Mogul Embassy versus AR Fox, Darius Martin, and Action Andretti. This was a really great match. First of all, I know I've been saying a lot of shit about the Embassy since they started with ROH. I felt like it's been such a slow ride of the Embassy finding their place in ROH and also in AEW as well. But finally, we start seeing more consistency of them being a trios and having really great chemistry with each other. And I'm actually starting to become a fan of these three guys together. I already like Prince Nana, but the other three, they had to convince me, okay? I really enjoyed this match. Now, AR Fox, Darius, and Action Andretti, I never even thought that these three guys should even be in the trios, but they are so good together. I honestly would like to continue to see them as a trios because, real talk here, I don't see AEW, ROH trying to do anything with these guys as singles competitors. So why not have another 6-man tag? They have great chemistry together. Everybody's super talented. And I don't want to say they're similar in the ring, but they are a really great fit. Now, in this match, I have to say that I was convinced more about the Mogul Embassy being 6-man tag champions. However, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I just feel like the Embassy is having a winning streak on ROH, but they're looking like fools on AEW. Why is that a good thing? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're seeing them consistently doing better these past few weeks, and them now partnering up with Swerve being part of the Mogul Embassy, which was a really great move for at least the Embassy for sure. I just feel like I don't like how they're being portrayed more on AEW. Ain't nothing wrong with taking an L here and there, but it just seems like if you're going to put these people in the ring, especially with somebody like Orange Cassidy, you already know they're going to be taking the L every single time. And it's annoying to see that on AEW. But then you get a whole different narrative on ROH. I feel like, honestly, that's being inconsistent with the booking. And this is why I say I really think that they have to have ROH be its own thing with its own roster and have very few people jumping from back and forth from AEW to ROH. I think that in the long run, this may not be a great thing for certain people to be booked well on one show and not on the other. I don't know. I just don't like it. But either way, I recommend this match. This was done really nicely, and I want to see, both these teams remain as trios. Now, I think we're seeing AEW, ROH trying their best to, work with what they got here. But at the end of the day, I'm starting to feel like maybe Tony bit off more than he can chew, especially now that he have Collision. I mean, you got Collision coming on, and all your shows are not booked solid. Like, that's crazy. You should have solid booking going on, and your show should be entertaining throughout. Maybe you might not enjoy a match or two, but I literally just talked about like 4 matches or 3 matches that I recommend to watch out of 12. The rest of it just felt like filler matches. Like, hey, we got 2 hours. We're just going to throw the whole roster in this show. It's not necessary. And like I said, quality over quantity, Tony. You're doing too much. I just don't know if it's really worth continuing to review. But I'm going to give it until the pay-per-view. And then from there, I'll decide if it's something that I want to keep going with. I'll definitely keep covering the pay-per-views. But the show is starting to feel like, damn, this is just too much in 2 hours. Oh, and Mobile Embassy does take the win. Go check out that main event. These guys did a tremendous job. Guys, thanks for watching my video. I'll be back tomorrow with Rampage. Bye.